In this week's Patreon pick, we're going to be looking at a very low market cap metaverse project that does have quite a bit of potential. So if that's something that interests you, of course, make sure you watch it all the way to the end of the video. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed, hit that like button as well, and the bell notification so you know when another video goes live. And let's jump straight in. So the project that we're going to be looking at today is called Fabwelt. I'm going to be taking a look at some tokenomics, some of the parts of the website, and of course their socials as well. So let's get straight into it. Fabwelt itself, the market cap is sitting at 1.2 million, so it is extremely low. And everybody who's looking for those 100x's, these are the sort of projects that can do pretty well in the next bull run. And they can get 100x from here fairly easily with the right momentum, with the right team. So we're going to have a look and sort of confirm if the suspicions are there, that we can get that 100x. So we've got a total supply of 500,000. So the supply itself is actually fairly low when you think about it. And a low supply obviously can lead to a higher price if projects pick up, because the demand is going to be there to pick those tokens up. And we have a circulating supply of 45%, so a fairly decent circulating supply as well. So the sort of concern of a rug isn't really there to a certain extent. You can see the fully diluted market cap as of right now, if all the coins were to be released, is 2.7 million. So again, you're looking at a 50 to 100x project quite easily. So I wouldn't worry too much about the circulating supply. Although with any low cap project, there is that sort of risk that does sit with it, that is actually going to take off from this point. And is it going to do well? Is it going to do a gala? Even if from here, if it goes to an Altura sort of price, around 30 odd million, you're looking at a 30x, which is pretty good in my perspective. So it can do well, but there is that sort of risk that you need to be aware of and you need to take consideration of if you are going to be buying into this project. Now, just a little bit on the about. So it creates games and technology to fully integrate blockchain technology for an advanced gameplay experience. So basically, Fabwelt itself, they are game developers. They have this metaverse project where they are developing games, deploying them in their space, and probably in the future you would see them inviting other companies, other developers to deploy games on the Fabwelt blockchain as well. Right now, there's nothing except their own developed games. One other positive is that it is built on Polygon, which means it is highly scalable. It's going to be cheap in terms of gas fees as well. So they've got a lot going for that. And of course, quite fast in terms of transaction speeds as well. So those are some of the positives that I have seen with this project. Now, before we get onto their website, just going to chat a little bit about my Patreon. If you guys haven't already, check out my Patreon. This is one of the Patreon picks. Once a week from certain tiers, my Patreons vote on what projects they would like me to have a look at. So if that is something that interests you, if there's a specific project that you would like me to take a look at, go ahead, check my Patreon out. There is definitely a tier for everybody, whether it's just getting some videos early, all the way up to having one-on-one consultations with myself. And in between, you get buy alerts, stake alerts, take profits, everything else. And of course, the VIP group. Don't forget that it's very important, because we have some really knowledgeable individuals on those groups who are talking about where they're trading, what levels, and so on like that. So if that is something that interests you, make sure you check it out. Otherwise, join my free Telegram as well. We have a really nice community forming there, guys talking about everything from wallets, from crypto projects, and everything else. Links are in the description. Jumping back onto the actual project of Fabwelt, they actually do have a working game at the moment called Arsenal. Now, it actually does look quite good. If you have a look at some of the screenshots, the game looks quite good. I think there are quite a few people playing it as well. I haven't played it myself, but it does look like it's a fairly well-worked game. The individuals who have developed this game know what they're doing. They know the gaming space. So from that perspective, for me, it looks like they understand what the community wants. They do have a sort of Fanwelt, which is that they're trying to merge a lot of sports together in a metaverse sort of way with a lot of NFTs and some stuff like that. So that they have going for them as well. And then they have another game on the horizon, which is called H2O Boat Racing. I think it's going to be dropping pretty soon. It does look quite good as well. It's going to be on mobile from what I understand. So it is going to reach a wider audience when it comes to that. So the project can do very well and it has some really good potential. One thing that I will say though is this website is pretty clunky. It's very bright and there's got a lot going on, so it is quite distracting. So I would say to the developers out there, make sure you check out your website because it's not necessarily the best. There's a lot going on and a lot of information thrown at the user. Now, taking a look at the metaverse sort of side of things as well, they're just sort of describing where they see their metaverse going. What they want to achieve with Fabwelt is essentially a gameverse where you're going to take your profile, you're going to go all the way across and play the different games. And that's why they say they have the gaming ecosystem. They're on high-end games, multiple worlds, in-game NFTs, cross-chain, which will be coming as well, and play-to-earn tournaments. So they have a huge lofty heights of where they want this project to go. One downside that I will say with this though is if people get bored of these games, they need to be pumping them out pretty quickly. If people get bored of these games, they will stop playing them, and of course then the price of the Fabwelt token will go down along with it. So they need to make sure that they create long-lasting, engaging games, or else this project will see its high risk coming into play and your investment will go down to nothing. Also, one thing that I did want to point out is that you are actually able to stake the coin as well. The returns aren't that great. It's about 4% in terms of APY, but it is passive income if you're not spending the token. Instead of just sitting in your wallet, you can earn some sort of rewards. It's not the best, but it's more than what some other projects do offer as well. Jumping onto their socials, they have a really big following, big community, which is important with any gaming project. It means that a lot of people will probably be playing these games as they go along. They are very, very communicative with their supporters. They're showing a lot of what's coming up. You can see the H2O boating race that we were talking about is coming on the 2nd of August, so less than a week from when I am recording this video. So we've got a lot coming for Fabwelt and a lot in terms of positive things. I would probably put this as about a 7 out of 10 for now. A good investment that you could see some good returns, but the risks are there. And that being that is a low cap with games that might not necessarily keep people engaged for a very long time. If that is the case, of course, the price of the project is going to go down to zero. But otherwise, good team, good tokenomics, utility behind it as well. It might be something to look at getting into yourself, but remember, always do your own research. This is not financial advice. You have to be comfortable with investing your hard-earned money. That's all that I'm going to be talking about today, guys. If you have already invested in this project or if you are interested, comment down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.